Hi, I'm Renate Moore. Welcome to this year's season of Let's Cook and Just Eat. In keeping you healthy with probably your goals for 2021, getting healthy, staying healthy, January is hot tea month. And I thought it's a perfect opportunity for you to introduce teas into your daily use if you haven't already. A question I receive quite often is, how do you even prepare loose leaf teas? Well, to answer those questions, I thought I'd invite, and I have my guest here today, a certified tea specialist, Catherine Isaacs, who will help us take away the fear or the intimidation of loose leaf teas. Hi, Catherine. Welcome.
I'm so glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Now, I will say, in the past, I've had my professional videographer getting my videos done. But since COVID, I've become the one to make my videos. And I've been doing pretty well at them. You know what? I'm all about making perfect imperfect because that's what happens. Life happens. So I'm not a cookie cutter person, as you know. Anyway, Catherine, thanks again for joining me. I was just saying that a lot of people find preparing tea to be an intimidating task. And I thought, who else can help take that intimidation away but you? And a few questions I received from a few folks quite often, and most recently in my email box, is how do you even use loose leaf teas? How do you prepare loose leaf teas? And the other thing they wanted to know is what would be considered a robust tea to get you started in the morning, kind of like how coffee people they look for their coffee in the morning. And then by the end of the day, what's a good suggestion to wind down after our work day? So can you help me with those questions, please?
I do believe I can, Renate. Let's get started.
Thank you.
Okay. I brought several means of making loose leaf tea with me today. I was intimidated myself when I first discovered it, but it's really very simple. People might recognize the pincher sort of tea ball idea. Um, so that's one way of making loose leaf tea. There are paper filters that you can make your own tea bag by spooning the tea leaves in. There are durable filters, which I will be demonstrating today. And there are French presses. They're not just for coffee, they're for tea also. Um, Zipping right along into the question of breakfast, because breakfast is one of my favorite moments in tea. And I need a good, strong, robust tea to get me going in the morning. So I usually go with a black tea. Those are usually the strongest teas because they have been oxidized all the way. They have more caffeine content, so that'll help give you that boost. I'm going to be preparing a black tea from China. It's Keemoon tea, and I'm going to prepare it in the French press. And the rule of thumb for loose leaf tea, as far as how much, is for every 8 ounces of water, 1 teaspoon or 1 little scoop of tea leaves. So since I'm making a teapot, because I need lots of tea to get me going in the morning, I'm going to do 4 cups in the press. That's 1. That's 2, 3, and 4. And then I have boiling water, or about 200 degrees. 200 degrees to boiling for black tea is also rule of thumb. And there we go.
There we go.
Now it's started steeping. And to keep some of the steam in, so you keep some of the aroma in, we'll put the little cover on here, but we won't push it all the way down yet, not until it's done steeping. For black tea, you're going to want to steep it about 5 minutes to get the most flavor out of it and the most oomph. If you go longer than that, it might get bitter, but 5 minutes is a good time for black tea. Once your 5 minutes are up, what you do with the press is you press it. You press it down and get all of the tea leaves out of your beverage. And then you can either enjoy it right out of the tea press, just pour it in your cup and leave the rest of it in the press. Or if you're like me and you like that traditional teapot, you can just pour it from the press into the teapot. And there you go.
Wow.
Now you're ready for breakfast.
Now you're ready for breakfast. Yes. Okay, so I've been all jazzed up for with my morning beverage, my morning boost.
Yes.
And what do you recommend for evening calming and winding down?
Okay, for winding down at the end of the day, you're going to want less caffeine or no caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably best for most people. I like to go with rooibos, which I brought just a regular rooibos today. It's a plant from South Africa. It's not the tea plant, the Camellia sinensis plant that tea comes from. But the people of South Africa have been using rooibos like tea for centuries. It has the flavonoids, the polyphenols, all that stuff you hear about with tea. That's in rooibos also. But rooibos is naturally caffeine free. It doesn't have to be decaffeinated. There's no caffeine to start with. So that makes it great for unwinding at the end of the day. And if you just want to make 1 cup, if you don't want to bother with a whole teapot at the end of the day, I'll take a filter, a durable filter, and I'll scoop in, again, 1 teaspoon approximately. I don't know if you can see the leaves, but they look almost like pine needles. They're very fine with the rooibos. I put that in the filter. And I add the water. Now, with rooibos, you have a lot of flexibility. I tend to steep it 7 minutes because I like the stronger flavor. You could get away with 5 minutes. You could get away with 10 minutes. It depends on what you like. Rooibos is very forgiving because there aren't many tannins in it as compared to tea. So it's not going to get bitter if you steep it longer, the way tea will. So you have poured the water over your rooibos leaves. You wait 7 or 5 or 10 minutes. And when it's done steeping to your taste, you remove the filter, set it aside, and you have your cup, nice and relaxing rooibos for the evening.
Oh, that's awesome. I have 2 questions. How do you recommend if someone wants to sweeten their tea? Do you drink it plain? How do you jazz your tea up if you like?
I actually do like to jazz my tea up. I can use honey. I can use sugar, a good cane sugar. Any sweetener that you prefer, you can use in tea. And it's just a matter of personal taste. And the tea, you might find that there's a tea that you don't want to add anything to, or you might find that there's a tea that, yeah, you really want that sweetener in there. It's all up to you.
That's so true because, again, I was born into teas. When I growing up, it was just teas. And then as I became an adult, then I started to taste for coffee. But, and it's the same thing, like I said, I use milk in mine. But
Yes.
I am having a jasmine green tea, then I prefer it without any milk, which actually I steeped your jasmine green tea
Oh, okay.
to share with you today. And we're virtual, but we can still tip our cups to each other.
That's right. That's right.
One thing I've noticed is all the options, which I love, on how you can use to put the loose leaf teas.
Right.
Filter, where can one find those gadgets?
Gadgets, yes. I have all of these gadgets that you see here and a few more on my website, ktesonline.com, KTEAS online.com. I also have some of my teas and accoutrements available through Lady Rin, so people can get some of them from you. And I also have products in the Secret Chocolatier in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if local people to Charlotte want to stop in and satisfy their sweet tooth and get some tea at the same time, they can do that.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Yes. And of course, I love your teas. I bake with them. I use them every day when I'm having my teas. I cook
Mhm.
with them. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Catherine, for this education on teas. And I shall pour my cup of jasmine green tea, which I will not sweeten or add any milk because I just like it, have it plain. So
Yeah.
cheers. And again, and to go along with this, you can have some delicious
Oh,
scones, and you can find a recipe in my cookbook, Just Eat Pure and Simple Cooking. Oh, it's such an easy recipe. And in about less than 40 minutes from start to end, you have fresh scones. And in these scones that I have here today, they're cranberry, orange cranberry, but I
oh,
added your Tahitian vanilla rose tea.
oh my.
So, cheers. Happy New Year. And thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and answering these questions. So, I hope my audience have benefited from this. Now, you guys, I just need you to share your comments below. Let me know what's your favorite tea. If you have any questions, just shoot them in there and we'll have Catherine answer them. Thanks again for joining the show. Until then.